This is Build a Big Podcast. I'm David Hooper. I just released a book. It's called Big Podcast, available at Amazon.com. You want more information? bigpodcast.com/book. And there are a lot of parallels between book publishing and also podcast publishing. On this episode, I'm going to be talking about distribution. Right now, I've got a single distribution point. At least that's what you hear me talk about. When I mention the book, I tell people one place, Amazon.com. Why is that? For one, I've got an exclusive deal on the digital book. Just for 3 months, gives me a better royalty rate, give me some better promo tools. I decided to take the punt and go exclusive with them. Is it worth it? Maybe. Ask me in 3 months. The second reason why I use one distribution point is because right now, Amazon sells about 41% of all books in the United States. My book isn't in stores. I mean, kind of it is. It's available in stores, but you've usually got to ask for it. It's not sitting on the shelf. Not everybody knows me. It's a niche subject. If you go in your local Barnes & Noble or wherever you buy books, you're probably not going to see my book on the shelf. But if you go to Amazon, it's guaranteed to be in stock. It can be delivered anywhere or instantly if you get the digital version. And also, this is how it relates to your podcast, by sending everybody to Amazon, it moves up the Amazon charts. It gets listed with other books. People who purchased this book also purchased these books. I want my book listed in those lists. When you go to Apple Podcasts and most podcast directories, the same thing happens with your podcast. If you go into iTunes, and I'm talking about the desktop iTunes, and you look at podcasts, so people who subscribed to this also subscribe to this, just like Amazon. So by you sending more people to iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever you call it, you are helping your podcast to show up on that list. And like Amazon, people are probably going to Apple Podcasts anyway. Most people listen to podcasts on iPhone. And most of those people who are listening to podcasts on iPhones, they listen via the Podcasts app, that purple app that comes with the iPhone. So sending everybody to Apple, that focuses you on a single chart, the Apple Podcast chart, and it also gets you in these lists. I want you to consider that when linking your podcast from a website. Don't give people hundreds of choices. Confused mind always says no. Give them 3. 1, something for iPhone users. 2, something for Android users. I prefer Google Podcasts. 3, something for RSS users. The old school podcast fans who like to go their own way and listen to podcasts through some third-party program. If you want to see an example of this, go to bigpodcast.com/subscribe. You're on an iPhone, click this link. Android, click this link. Need an RSS link? Here it is. It's not fancy, but it gets the job done. So check it out, bigpodcast.com/subscribe. I've got a lot of parallels between book publishing and podcast publishing. I'll be talking about those over the next few episodes. If you want to check out the book that I'm talking about, bigpodcast.com/book. Thanks for listening to Build a Big Podcast. I'll see you on the next episode.